Hello everyone, welcome to part 1 of my SQL portfolio project. Today we are analyzing a real HR database in PostgreSQL using pgAdmin. I received this brief from the HR team. Dear data analyst, we are preparing for workforce planning and compensation review. To support these activities, we need clear insight from our employee database. Please provide answers to the following questions using SQL queries. So we have 14 questions in total, just 14 questions. And the HR team said they need quick insight into their workforce for planning and reporting. So they gave me these 14 questions to start with. And I think it covers head count, you can see. It also covers salary and compensation. It covers departments, and it covers IRL. So this is exactly how our data analysis project begin. A list of business questions and a database to work with. The first stage of every data analysis program is to always identify the problem. What problems are the company trying to solve? What questions are they trying to answer? That should be the first stage of data analysis. Then it now talk of what? Gathering data. So we have the database already. So this is the diagram they sent to us. This is how the data looks like. They have 7 tables altogether. When we say database, is a collection of tables, and tables consist of rows and columns, right? So we have 7 tables. So table is just like an Excel workbook. Excel workbook is a collection of many worksheets, but tables in database is a collection of what? But database is a collection of what? Is a collection of tables. Do you get? So database is like your Excel workbook, and tables is like your Excel worksheet, and a worksheet consists of rows and column. Tables also consist of what? Rows and column. So these are the tables. We have employee tables that contains information about the employee ID, the first name, the last name, the email, the phone number, and these employee tables you can connect to jobs table to get more insight using the job ID. That's what they have in common. Yes, job ID. We can also connect employees to department using department ID. You can connect what is this thing called here? We can also connect dependent to employee using the using the employee ID. That's what they have in common. And we can connect department to location using location ID, connect country to location using the country ID, and connect region to countries using what? Region ID. So one way or the other, they are all connected, and we can get more insight. So now guys, let's get started. Since we have the data, and we also have the query for writing for loading the tables and also the data. Now guys, you open your pgAdmin. If you don't have PostgreSQL and pgAdmin installed, please go to check my channel. I already have a video for you guys on how to download and install your PostgreSQL and pgAdmin so that you can also practice. So when you're always practicing, guys, you are always improving. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do here, guys, is drop down the arrow here. Then you right click on database. You create database. So I want to call my database HR because I want to analyze HR database. I'm calling it HRDB, guys. Then you save. After saving, that's not all. This is just an empty database. So we need to now load the tables and the data we receive from the HR team. So I'll come here and right click and say open query tool. So you must have the files received saved somewhere. I saved my own under, I have it in a folder called HR project. So then I'll just come here. The query tool is there now for HRDB. That shows that you can begin work on HRDB. Now the first thing I need to do is load the data. So you click on open file here, and you start with create HR schema. So you need to create the table first. This first query is for creating tables. So you see, create table region, create table countries. So don't tamper with anything here, guys. Just execute the script. Click here. So you see, query return successfully. Now the next thing is the data is not there. We just have tables. If you check under your schemas here, you see that you have the tables. See, tables. We have 7 tables. Now open again to bring in the insert HR. So you see, this is for data. Insert into regions. See, data for table region, data for table countries. We have, don't tamper with anything, guys. Just run. So you see, this one too is successful. Now guys, we can now begin our analysis. So you can close this one now and open a fresh query tool for doing your analysis. I'll come here again under HRDB and I'll say query tool. So what have you learned here? For you to analyze any work on what, when you're using pgAdmin, you must right click on that database and click on query tool. Now we have the query tool. The first part here is where you write your query, and the down part here is where you get your what? You get your output. You see data output, query. So we call it query here. So when you want to analyze your data, you use the query tool. Now guys, let's pick the first question. How many employees? So I'll copy it. Let me just copy everything, Control C, and I'll take it to my pgAdmin, paste it, declare it as a comment. So it won't be part of the query. So use double dash here. Now let's begin. So the first question says, how many employees are currently in the company? So like I do say, try and understand the problem first. So what are they asking us to do here? Just to get the count of employee. Okay, are they 10, are they 20? That's what they asked to do. So it's very easy. So since we have an idea now, we now think of, okay, since I'm using SQL, what query can I write that can help me get what? The count. Maybe the count of customer, count of product, count of staff. But in our own case, we are counting what? We want to count the staff, the employees. So we have a function called count function. So that is what you are going to use. So you begin by typing select. You type select. So what are we selecting? We are not just selecting, we want to count. Select count. Select is like your equals to in Excel. You know, before you write any function in Excel, anything after a function becomes a what? Becomes a formula or function. After equals to becomes a function or a formula. So here too, you must begin with what? Select. So what are you selecting? You want to count. You want to count is a function. You use the count the way you use the count in Excel. So I'll now put the employee. So basically what usually will help you is that go and check the tables. Which of the tables here contain the column that you can use in what? In getting the count of employee. So it should be employee table. So drop down the arrow and to see the name of the column. So what can we count here, guys? We count the employee ID because employee ID is unique. Did you get? So now you just put employee ID here. Employee, you type it the way it is written there, please, so that you don't get error. Employee ID. Then as I'm using as here because I want to give it an alias. I want to call it total employees. Total employees. Total employees. Then from the table, which table are we picking it from? From the employee table. From the employee table. So it's very easy here in SQL. So you select what you want to see from the table. You have, just like it's like a command. You're sending a boy, okay, from that department, get me the count of employee. Did you get? So this is how it works in SQL. So it's very easy. So we need the select and the from. Now you can just what? You can just run this. So guys, you see that we have 40. So that is the answer to the first question. It's very easy, right? Very easy. So let's continue. So 40, just a simple count, and we have like 40 employees in total. So now the next question, let's go back here. Let's just bring all the questions, guys. What do you think? Let's bring all the questions, then we start answering them one by one. So we've answered one already. I'll come back here again. So I'll declare this one as a comment and I'll put the solution here. Okay guys, second question, they said please provide a list of the top 10 highest paid employees. Top 10 highest paid employees, name and salary inclusive. So they need the name and salary. They need the name and salary. So let's run the query. So it's gonna be select. So what are we selecting? We need the name. So let's select the first name. You see the first name is there. Let's select the first name, comma, the last name. You can do comma last name, or you even concat them together. You know, concat is for joining test string together. So let's use the concat function, guys. and let's put a space in between the concat. This to put a space, and there'll be comma here. Then I have to close it here. Sorry, use a single dot. Now this is to concatenate the two of them together. Then I want to call them full name. Let's call it full name, right? As full name. The AS keyword is optional, so if I don't use it will work. If I don't put AS keyword, it will still work. I'll just type full name. You see that's gonna work now, guys. Alias name don't accept space, so that's why I'm using underscore full name. So now we also need what? Salary. Just like they said, name and salary. Then from the table you are picking it from, guys, is the employee table, right? So let's run these two and let's see what we have. So you see, guys, so easy we are getting our results. And for us to be very sure, we said list of the top 10 highest paid employees. So that means we're not done yet, since they said top 10. So we need to sort. So order by to sort. You need to order by the salary. And how do you want to sort? Descending order, highest to lowest. Then that's not all. Then you now say limit 10, since you want to get top 10. After sorting, then okay, if I run it here now, guys, it's gonna give us, without sorting first, without limiting, it's giving us everything. And it shows here that Stephen King is the top guy here. Stephen King is the one earning more money, $24,000, far above everyone else. You see, so leadership take the top spot, because this guy is the leader here. So now what I'm gonna do here is, let me now include the limits, to limit it to just 10. So these are the top 10 guys. Top 10. So the last of the top 10 is the one earning $10,000, Amanda. So guys, that is the second question, and let's move to the third question. Now, what are the distinct job titles? So they need all unique job titles. So now, which of the table here do you think will contain job titles? Do we have it in employee? No, we don't have it. But there's a table called jobs. So jobs should contain the unique job title. So the title is here. So what you need to do here is very easy. Just come and say select. Since you want to remove duplicate, you just say select distinct. To remove duplicate in SQL, select distinct what? Distinct. The spelling of the distinct is incorrect. Distinct. Okay. And the column we want to apply distinct on is what? The job title. Remember, you type it the way it is there. Then from the table you are picking it from, this time around is the jobs table. So if jobs, we can also sort. Order by is for sorting in SQL. Order by the job title. Or do we need to order by job title? Let's run it first, guys. If you need sorting, we come back and sort. So you see, guys, this is the distinct. These are the distinct. So if you like, you can sort in ascending order, or you sort in descending order. Let's sort in ascending order. So I'll just add order by, so that it will start from A, order by job underscore title. So you see, guys, accountant, accounting man, these are the distinct job, finance manager, marketing manager, and all. So that's the third question, guys. So that's how you keep answering them till you get to the 14th questions. So this one now shows that we have 19 different jobs, from the president down to clerk, and it shows the full company hierarchy. You can see we have different jobs here. Accounting manager, president is here, and you can see that we have store clerk. So that's why I said from the president down to clerk, and it shows the company shows the full company hierarchy. Now guys, the next question says, how let me declare it as comment. How many employees are in each department? Are there in each department? How many employees are there in each department? How many employees are there in each department? So what they are trying to say is that, okay, check each department and let's see how many do we have in accounting, how many do we have in finance, how many do we have in corporate service, how many do we have in HR, how many do we have? That is the question. So try and understand the question first before writing the query. If you understand the question, it will guide you on how to the query to write. How many employees are in each department? So what we need to do here is to check which of the table contains. So what we need now is we need department. In front of each department, we need the count of employee, right? So that means we need just two columns. A column listing all the departments, and another column listing the count, right? So that means we need department name. You need to select department name. So which of the table here contain department name? I think the department should contain it. So you see department name is here. So you can type department name. Another way of doing it to work smart is that you drag. You can also drag the column name. But it's good, you see department name instead of typing. Sometimes it's best to work smart. Then you also need the count. Like I said earlier, we need two columns. Count of what? Where are we going to get employee ID? We need to count employee ID. It's not here in the department, so you open the second table. So we are now joining tables together. We are joining tables together now. So count. So there are sometimes you need to join tables together. Two or more tables together to get the insights you are looking for, since all of them are not in the same table. So now this one, I want to call it employee count. Let me call it employee count. Employee count. Now guys, since we are joining it together, we are joining the two of them together. We take from employees, you now say join, or you type inner join. Either of the two, inner join, we use them interchangeably. Join department table. The name of the table we pick the department name from is departments table. Now what they have in common, you need to check what they have in common. You can see that we have department ID here, which is a foreign key. We also have department ID here, which is the primary key. So now what we need to do now is to say using what they have in common. What they have in common is department ID. So we just type department ID, or you can just copy one from here to instead of typing. Now guys, that's all. So how many employees are in department? So let's just run this, and we're gonna have what? We're gonna have our, oh sorry, I didn't complete it. You need to do group by. You need to group by, because we want to group the count by what? By the department name. Sorry, I didn't complete that. So that's what I have error. So group by department name. You group by department name, because you have department name here in your select. So now if you run this one now, you should have something. So you see accounting 2, purchasing 6, employee, marketing 2, but let's sort. Let's order by the employee count, so that department with the most staff or the most employee will come first. Order by the employee counts. Let me just copy, and the way of ordering, guys, will be the descending order. So we can run it again now. So shipping has the most staff, and the list is administration and human resources. They all have 1, and public relations executive have 3. So that's the question, guys. So the next question, let's check the next question. Which department has the largest number of employee? Which department has the largest number of employee? I think it's the same query as what we ran here. So what we just need to do is to limit this one to just 1. So permit me to copy this. It's the same thing, because we're only interested. You can see that shipping is the answer here. So but to use SQL query, since it is use SQL query, let's just include the limit here, limit 1. So we use limit to do top and bottom end analysis. So if I run this one, it's going to show us only shipping, which answer the question, department with the most employee. Now the last question in this first part says, which department has the highest average salary? Department has the average salary. So like I said, picture are the kind of output we're expecting. So that means we want to see the department name first, and in front of it we need what? The average salary. So you see like what we did earlier here. So we begin by selecting the department name, department name, then comma. This time around the way of grouping will be average, AVG. AVG is a function for not full average here. In SQL we use AVG. So we want to apply the average function on what? On salary, right? Let's call it average underscore salary. That's all. Then from, we are selecting department name from department. We're also selecting salary from the employee, so we need to do join again. So this is when to know when to use join. When you want to get insight from 2 or more or 3 tables, you need to do join. Join means combining tables together on the basis of what they have in common. If 2 tables doesn't have anything in common, you can't do join, guys. So now you see, from what? From employees, join departments. Using what they have in common. What do they have in common, guys? They have department ID, right? So you need to type department ID, department underscore ID. Now you have to do group by, because you want to group average salary. The way of grouping is average. You want to group by the department name. So that means for each department name, fetch us the what? The average salary. Now, they said highest, right? So we need to also sort. So I'm interested in the department with the highest average salary. So that's why I'm sorting. Order by average salary and limit 1 to get the department with the highest. So by the time you run this one, it's going to give you that department for chasing. But we can round. You can see we have many useless zeros here. So let's just round. Let's apply the round function here. So to do that, you just put round there to remove the zeros, round, open parentheses. Then you want to round average salary, then comma. Let's make it 2 decimal. So you close it. If you run this guy now, you're gonna have, so you see 2 decimal. Nice. So now I think we've answered all the questions in this first part, guys. Let's go again and copy the next part. So the next part is salary and compensation. Salary and compensation. So let me drop it here and declare them as comments. So I'm using individual comments. We have multiple line comments too. So let's use individual comments, since all of them are not together. Now, first question here says, what is the minimum, maximum, and average salary across companies? So this is like a company-wide salary statistic. They need statistics. So this one is very easy. Just say select. So we are applying all these functions, maximum, minimum, and average. That's what we'll be using. So we're going to apply them on what? On salary. So that means we'll begin. Let's begin by saying select min, minimum. Well, minimum MIN function is used to get the minimum. If you have a data, you want to get minimum from the data, you use MIN in SQL. So you're applying it on what? On salary, right? So let's call it as. Like I said earlier, the AS function keyword is what? Is optional. So if I don't use it, that doesn't mean that I won't do my alias. So call this one main salary. Then the next one, there should be a comma after each column. Max function, just like Excel. Max function is used in getting the maximum. Maybe you want to get maximum revenue, maximum salary, maximum age. Do you get? So call this one as max salary, comma, and lastly we are to get the average. So remember, let's just apply the round. You know, the round we did earlier is coming with many decimal, so let's just apply the round from the start here. Round, what you want to round. Round is like the way you use round in Excel to accept two arguments. So the number you want to round, we want to round average salary. And how many decimal? So let's make it 2 decimal. And you close the round function, then as what? As AVG, let's just short it, AVG salary. Then lastly will be from where we are picking it from, which is from the employee table, because we only selected a single column here, which is what? Salary, and we applied different functions. So if you run this guy now, you should have the output. So you see, we have the statistic. We have the statistic. We have the minimum, maximum, and what? An average salary. And I can see that the lowest salary here is $2,500. The highest salary is $24,000, and the average salary is around $8,060. So quite a range. Perfect. So now let's move to number 8 question, guys. The top 5 highest paid employees. So picture kind of output we're expecting. That means I need a table that will contain highest 5 salary. So that means the name of the employee first, their salary. That's what they need from us. If you can include any other information, no problem. But basically, don't overwhelm your stakeholder with too much information. You just go straight to the point. So select. We're selecting what? The first name. The first name, FIRST. So you can concat if you wish. You know, we have learned how to concatenate. And the first one of the first questions we answered. So if you like, you can apply concat here too. To do concat is very easy in SQL. Just say concat. So there are 2 ways of doing concat in SQL. Since I've demonstrated the first part here using concat in the second question, let me introduce you guys to the second part of concatenating in PostgreSQL. So the second part is to use an operator called pipe operator. You use an operator called pipe operator. So the pipe operator, this is it here. This is the pipe operator. So you tap it twice, then there should be a space, then tap it again. So now this is the pipe operator in SQL. Now the next thing you're gonna do from here, guys, is I've concatenated the 2 of them together. You can use your alias now, guys. Alias what? Let's call it full name, right? Full name. Full name. Now the next thing we want to select, we want to get the top highest paid employees. So we select their salary too. That's the 2 things we need. If you like, I include their job ID. Let's see the job they're even doing. I'm not including job title. If I include job title, I have to join because job title is not here. But okay, let's just limit it to what we have here. Now the next thing is from the table you are picking it from. After selecting all what you want, we're picking it from the employee table, so we are not joining. Now we need to sort order by. Way of sorting should be in descending order, and we limit it to just 5. You limit it to what? To 5. So you see, Stephen King. These are the top guys that are earning more in this company. Same leaders as before. Stephen King at the top, followed by Lex, followed by Nina. Nina and Lex are even earning the same amount, and we have John and Karen. So guys, you see, if you learn other way of concatenating in SQL using the pipe operator, and this is to put a space, and anything you put inside this space, that means you are telling SQL that I want you to join it together on the base whatever I put here, just like in Excel too. So if I put dash here now, So that means I'm gonna have Stephen dash King. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys there. So if I run it here now, this is gonna put dash, right? So but let's use a space. Another way of also getting the doing top n analysis in SQL, or limiting the number of results in SQL, especially PostgreSQL, if you guys don't want to use the limit, is to use, let me write this query for you guys so that I'll use the other one, the other way. Instead of limit, you can use fetch. Just say fetch first 5 rows only. If you run this guy, you're gonna have the same output. Or you do fetch next to work. Fetch next. Or you do fetch next 5 row instead of rows. Row instead of rows to work. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is just that next interchangeably for first. It's like I said fetch next or fetch first. Row, or you say rows, it's acceptable too. So guys, we've answered the question and move to the next question. How many employees earn more than $10,000? How many employees? We need to get the employee earning more than what, $10,000. So that means we need the name of employee. In front of the name of employee, we need the salaries. So I'll do the same thing. So let me just, to work smart, let me just copy something from here, because I'll be repeating the same thing. So it's the same thing. So we select so I will explain. I'm selecting first name, last name, concatenating, and also selecting the salary. Then from employee, then I'm sorting. But this time around, I will have to filter before sorting. For you to sort something, you need to have that thing first. So filter in SQL is done using the where clause. We know when you say filter, you want to display only record that meet your criteria. You want to display only rows that meet your criteria. So you now say where the salary. You want to apply the filter on salary. Where salary greater than, put the $10,000 there. You can now say sort now. Order by salary, descending order. So this is what we're asked to do. This is what we're asked to do. We want to get those that are any more than what, 10. So we just come here. Oh, I think they said how many, right? So when you run the query, you're gonna give you the two. You see, can you list some examples? So these are them, and they're at 9. You see, it's giving them 9. So instead of you counting them, no, it's giving me 9. 9 of them are any more than what, that's the result, and these are them. Those that are any more than $10,000. Now, guys, the next question says, what is total annual payroll cost for each department? Total annual payroll costs for each what? For each department. So you need to understand the problem first before you what? Begin writing your query. It is very, very important. So what are we asked to do here, guys? Total annual payroll costs. So that means they want to see for each department. They want to see two things. The first thing they want to see is that they want to see the count. How many employees we have? What's the head count in that department? And what is their total payroll, total salary? Do you get? So that is what we're gonna do here, guys. So let's get started. So we begin by saying select what? What are we selecting, guys? Department name first. Department underscore name, comma. Then we say we need the count of what? Count of employee ID. Where is the employee ID here? Okay, perfect. I have it here. We call this one head count. We call this head count. Now we also need the salary. So we need to sum the salary as total payroll. Sum it as total payroll. Then from the table you are picking it from, guys, is what? Is the employees. is the employees table. Then you also need to join, because we selected the salary from the employees table and we'll select department name from where? Department. So you need to say join departments using what they have in common, guys, department ID. So using department, using department ID. I think we've answered that, right? So now say group by. Group by. What are we grouping by? We're grouping by department name. We want to see the counts. At the same time, the sum of salary. Total amount. So if you run this one now, we should have something. So you see, accounting, they have 2 guys there and they're earning $20,000. Wow. Only two of them earning $20,000. So purchasing 2, wow, 2 of 6 of them, 24,900. So that's why I keep checking. And executive, just 3 of them and they're earning $58,000, and that's the highest. So executive has, I think, high cost despite small size. You know, they have high cost and they have small size. So due to high salary, they have that. Now we also have the IT, 2 of them just 20,000, and finance too, 6. Finance also is expensive. So that's payroll. You can even sort. You can sort. What do you think we can sort by, guys? Think. So I'm thinking we should sort by total payroll. So that means I have to add order by. You learn how to sort now, right? That one is very easy. You just say order by salary. Then you do DSC, descending order, right? So if you run this guy now, oh my god, order by salary, descending order, right? Department name. So he's saying employee salary must appear in the group by clause because it is or can be used in aggregate function. So don't mind me, it's wrong. So just use total payroll. So we're gonna do the total payroll is what we're gonna do. So we're not ordering by salary. So if you want to use that, it's either you say order by sum of salary to work. We are ordering by the aggregate, not by the single column. So it's working now. See, just use the alias for the sum of salary instead of saying order by sum salary, right? So it's very, you can easily get the insight now. The executive as the highest payroll, followed by sales, followed by and digit. So I think we've answered that question, guys. So move to the next question. Which employees earn above the company-wide average salary? So we want to see what is the average salary first. So if you want to forget about SQL, if you are asked this question as HR, what will be your response? Or as digit, you know, the first thing is I'll ask what is the average salary. So if I know the average salary, I can now start comparing with each staff salary to see those that are earning above what? Those are earning above the average. So for that reason, we have 2 options here. Write a query to get the average salary first. Then now that one you'll be writing 2 query. So another way is to use a subquery or use a CTE. So I think CTE is very easy than using the subquery. So guys, I want you to please, if you're here to subscribe, please subscribe, because now I'm going to start SQL class from basic to advanced. So you know, this is a project, and I believe you are learning 1 or 2 things. But if you want to learn, subscribe to my channel. I'll take all those one by one. I use this is PostgreSQL. We can use MySQL. We can use Google BigQuery. We can also use any other MySQL, SQLite, Microsoft SQL. We can use any of them for practicing. So subscribe. I promise you to take you from beginning to what? To advanced SQL. So that's what we do for all the tools. So which employees earn above the company-wide average salary? So we're going to use CTE. So I'll start by saying with. So I'll write a query first to get the average salary. So let me call it company. I'm calling that CTE. Like I'm creating a small query here. I'm calling it company average. Yes, let me use company average as. So this is how we do CTE. So it's like I'm creating a small query. And this query now is going to contain what? It's going to contain only this average salary. So I'll say select. So I will now write the query that will get me the average salary, which is what I'm writing now. If I want to get the average salary, this is what I'm going to write. As EVG underscore salary, then from employees. Guys, this query alone will give you this one from the select here. This will give you the average salary. Let me run it. The average salary is 8,060, right? But I want to use one query to kill one bed, instead of me now writing another query to compare to get this thing. So what I'm going to do is just continue from here using the width, the CTE. Then I will now come here and say select. So this select. So from this query here, let me complete it. Select first name of our employee, comma, last name. Let me concatenate. You have two options for concatenating now, guys. Which one should we use? Let's use the pipe operator, right? Pipe operator is like you're using ampersand too. In Excel you have two options to use. That use ampersand or use concat. So I'll call this one as full name. Is that what I have to do? No, that's not all. So you now select what? The salary. That's what you want to do. Now from where you're picking it from is what? From employees. From employees. Company average. The name of the table here is also what? Company average. So from employees, comma, company underscore average. And I say where salary greater than the company average, this one, company average dot the average salary. So it's like saying the average salary, but I need to reference the table I'm picking it from. So I'm picking it from the company average. I'm picking this average salary from where? The company average above here. So you can now do your order by. Order by is to sort. Let's do descending order, guys. So if you run this one now, guys, oh, I have a comma here. There shouldn't be a comma here for concatenating. Sorry, there shouldn't be a comma there. So you see, these are the employee earning above the company average. Remember what we did earlier? Company average is what? Salary is what? 8,060, right? So you see, so this is all we have. Stephen King and all these guys are earning above 8,060. You see, 8,002 is greater than 8,060. So, but it's for beginner. If you don't know, if you are yet to learn CT, if you don't know what I did here, let me quickly give you other method. That means you'll be writing two queries. The first thing you need to write, if you're using that, guys, is that if you're using another method, you run this one first to get the average salary somewhere, right? You see 8,060. Write it down somewhere. You now run this one. I'm coming. For those of you that are here to learn, we can also use subquery, but let me just. So this is second method. So I ran the first one, which is I got 68060, right? You now say select first name, last name as full name, salary from employee. You now say where salary greater than what? 8,060. We're going to have the same output. You see? See, we have the same output. So it's giving you those guys that are getting more than what? 8,000. I think that is clear, guys. So move to the next question. The next question says Dear employees whose current salary exceed the maximum defined for the job title, how do we answer this question, guys? If any question is not clear, please reach out to those that sent you the questions. Always ask questions. If it's not clear, that is their domain. Especially if you don't have a domain knowledge regarding the data you're analyzing, it's always best to ask questions. Ask questions before you try and solve the problem. So we want to see this question now. They want to see those that employee that are paid above their job maximum salary. That is what. Are there any employee whose current salary exceed the maximum defined for job title? Maximum defined. And so that means you want to compare those that are any more than maximum salary. Is that not what they're trying to say? Employee paid above their job maximum salary. Above their job maximum what? Job maximum salary. So I think it should be none anyway, but let's try and do something and let's see what we are going to have. So permit me to work smart because I still need to select the first name and last name again. I also need salary, so let's just copy what we have here and just edit it. Now, salary. Oh, we need job title here too. So we need to include job title. We need to include job underscore title, then comma. Now, coming. I think there's a column that let's check their this thing. I saw maximum. See, maximum salary here under jobs. So I think that's maximum salary defined. So under jobs, right? So let's quickly go and check. So we need to select the maximum salary too. Max salary, which is under the job table. If you check the job table, drop down the arrow. You see. Now the next thing you need to do, guys, here is from the table you are picking it from. You are picking it from the employees. Then you have to do join. Is there a relationship between between table and employee? You need to check, guys. We have job ID here. Oh, perfect. We also have job ID. So we're using job ID, right? So now say join jobs. Join jobs. Remember, what do you have in common? Using the job ID. Your join will be incomplete if you don't tell SQL what they have in common. That's just it. And now say where, because we need to filter salary. You want to see those that are earning where salary greater than what? This max salary defined. So I think this is all has to do. So let's run it and let's see what we have, guys. There's none. I said it, there should be none, honestly. So there's none, right? So now, guys, I think we've answered the question. Yeah, that's the end of the questions here. Let's go and check again. Oh, iron and tenure. We have just two questions under iron and tenure. So let's quickly pick it and run it up. Declare these two guys as comment. Oh my god. Declare it as comment. Okay, now who is the most recently hired employee? So guys, we need the first name and last name too. Permit me to just quickly work smart. First name, last name, and we need the hire date. The hire date, we have it under employee. Perfect. Then from the table you are picking it from, which is the employees table, right? So here we are sorting by hire date. We're sorting by hire date, descending order. So you get the maximum date. Let's see the person that is employed there. Then you now limit it to what? To 1. The new taker, latest employee. So only Chas. Only Chas. You see. Now the last question says, who are the 5 longest serving employees? 5 longest serving employees. Let me copy this. We also need the add so let's just do these guys. First name, last name, full name. Then we also need the add to get the longest serving employees. We need the top 5, right? Let's just select top 5. So from employees, order by add but this time around we use ascending order. Do you get? Then this time around you do limit what? Limit 5. Limit 5. So you see, these guys are the longest serving employees. And Stephen King goes back to 1987, over 38 years of experience or more than. Do you get? By 2025 is over 38 years of experience. And the last guy here is Bruce. Do you get? So now that wraps up our part 1. We've answered all the 14 questions from the HR brief, guys. And we now have a solid insight into headcount, department size, salary distribution, and hiring history. So the HR team also asked for more advanced analysis, geographic breakdown, management structure, salary ranking within departments, and inequality metrics. So we are going to cover those in part 2 with window functions and deeper joins. So all the queries and database scripts are on my GitHub, and I will drop the link in the description. So I want you to, and in the comment section, I want you to download them, run them yourself, and add this project to your portfolio. So guys, if you find this project helpful, like and subscribe for part 2 and more reward SQL projects. See you in the next video.